So you were there for the McGregor debacle, and me and Rampage were watching that when you guys were walking out, and McGregor like threw something at you guys. Is that you like flipping him off or something?
No, that wasn't me. I actually believe I was working for ESPN at that time. I do work for ESPN, so I do the post fight show sometimes.
So there's a video that was that was saying Gilbert Melendez was flipping off McGregor. It's like a viral video, but it's not you.
Oh no, that's not me.
Yeah, so
that's not me. But I mean, like, I remember being there.
Yeah,
I remember being there for that, and it was I think that was the second fight. Was it the first fight? Yeah, there was the second fight that was going down, and I remember like Conor didn't show up; he was late. But we were there. Nate was there. We were covering it. And Nate pulled a switcheroo on him. So right when Conor left, Nate got up and left. And I thought it was brilliant, right? Oh, you want to show up 30 minutes late? Oh, I already did my job. Got up, left. Everyone left. And then, shit was talked. And then, someone threw something first. Someone threw something second. I don't know. Things were being thrown all over. And, I mean, I don't know. I feel like when we talk about these things and everyone's surprised on the internet or they love it, it's just like, we were just living this life, you know what I mean? Like there's just savages all over back in the day, and it was just like, what did they think was gonna happen? Like a fight happened at the fights, like that's what happens, people are so surprised.
What about the Jake Shields and the Mayhem Miller moment? Were you there for that?
Absolutely, man. I feel like I'm kind of responsible for that. Like I was like, if you watch the video, I was pretty hyped up.
What?
That's your
Mayhem's my brother.
I know. What would happen? What if Rampage was in the cage that night?
I would hope he
break it down. What happened? Break it down.
Yeah, breaking it down. We had a great night. CBS. The first time I think Strikeforce was on CBS. We're making a run for it. I'm fighting Shinya Aoki. They brought him from Japan. I feel like I'm #1 in the world at the time, but I can't fight BJ Penn because he's in the UFC. And then he's about to fight Frankie or something. And then they're like, but we got this guy Shinya Aoki who's breaking people's arms and breaking people's ankles. He like tapped out Eddie, Joaquin Hansen, broke some dude's arm on like New Year's Eve and flipped him off. And anyways, he was like debatably the #1 guy out there. They brought him over. I shut him out. I beat him. Jake beat Dan Henderson, shut him out. Well, maybe lost the first round. And then Mayhem Miller
maybe lost the first round. That was just
he lost. All right, he lost the first round. He lost the first round. He came back, and Jake here, we're tired as hell. We fought 25 minutes. My thumb's broken right here, and Mayhem is being Mayhem. When he comes in here, and again, we're not staged, and I'm like, yo, back up, Mayhem. I push him back a little bit, back up, and then that's a green light for Nick and Nate. They didn't fight that night, so they were like, this is it right here. So they start busting him up. That's my boy Bobby Taylor. I think it was like 20 on 1. It was pretty. My dad was even there trying to pull Nate off, and
so you was the first one to start.
Well, I just told him to back up. I didn't start it. I tried to diffuse a problem. You know what I mean?
Did you hear Mayhem's side of the story?
I didn't. I did. What's his side of the story?
He said that.
By the way, I love Mayhem. I think he's great, and I think he's amazing. Dude. And I just like, dude, that's like again, like boys will be boys. You know what I mean? Like this shit happens. And
he don't hold no grudges.
No. He came on the pod and talked about it.
He said that one of the producers, whoever like is over the production, said, "Oh, go in there and ask about your rematch or something." Yeah. So he was saying, like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, exactly. But that's like again, the producers, they're not fighters, right? They're not fighters and everything. And and I'm maybe I should have let it happen right here, but I'm like, hey, back up, bro. He's talking, right? And then what? And then he's like, here we go. Here comes, look at Nate threw a water bottle. Oh, still the same.
You tossed him into the banner.
He tossed the water. They were just waiting for it, dude.
Nate went around the back for a double leg.
Look at all the tap out shirts.
Yeah. Look, they slowed it down. So I see you pushed him, and then he came towards you. I see it now.
Gilbert, you tossed him. You tossed him through the banner, Gilbert.
Yeah, that was a tough push. But dude, I think Mayhem's fucking awesome. He was one of like the first guys. You remember he had like the Mayhem monkeys and stuff, and he's a pioneer, dude. He's a great guy. And again, like I'm saying, everyone like boys will be boys. You know what I mean? This shit happens. I get in fights, you get in fights, and you shake hands afterwards. You have a beer. It's not like
I love it.
I have grudges and stuff, and I'm like, it's you know what I mean? Like
we had him on the podcast, and he talked, and not to cut you off, but we had him on the podcast. He talked highly of the situation. He's like, it was crazy for TV, it was crazy for MMA, but the producers hated it.
Yeah,
because I guess it almost jeopardized the whole deal.
It did.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. That was it. That was the last time we were on. On
for real?
Yeah. The last time that we were on CBS.
Look at Luke.
But I remember because I was supposed to do a fight.
Did it cost you money?
I don't know. If it
Cost
cost me
me-
money. It
yeah.
cost me
eyeballs, 5
cost me
million views.
eyeballs.
Yeah, 5 million
5
views.
million views every time we get on. So,
Bro, that's good.
But,
That was good.
but I mean,
That's
but
good.
it was,
That's
but
what
that
I
was
said. That's what I said.
Wait,
It was
real
good.
quick, just to break it down for the audience, what did they end up cutting out? They cut the deal, the broadcasting deal?
Yeah, so that was like, oh man, Strikeforce is making big moves. We're gonna have a big card on CBS. Like, oh man, awesome. We're gonna be on CBS. We're on CBS. Everything was great. Grand old night. We win, and that happens. And then and then they're like, this is you guys aren't ready.
They're
You're
just-
not ready for prime time.